Have you ever wondered how people adapt to living in some of the world's most unique and challenging environments? Join our YouTube channel as we explore the incredible ways these communities have built their lives in places you wouldn't believe people actually live. Throughout the world, some communities inhabit extraordinary places that defy conventional notions of living spaces. Let's explore 5 incredible and unconventional living environments, unveiling the realities of life in Brazil's favelas. Favela, a term that evokes both fascination and concern, describes the sprawling slums of Brazil, especially prominent in cities like Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. These settlements, characterized by their makeshift construction and precarious living conditions, are home to millions of Brazilians. The origin of favelas dates back to the late 19th century, when soldiers returning from the Canudos War settled in Rio de Janeiro. Unable to afford housing, they named their new settlement after the favela tree in Bahia. Favelas expanded significantly in the 1970s due to rural exodus. As people flocked to cities in search of better opportunities, they often found themselves without affordable housing, leading to the proliferation of these informal communities. Today, around 6% of Brazil's population lives in favelas, according to the 2010 census. These communities, often perched on steep hillsides, are constructed from salvaged materials and lack proper infrastructure, resulting in makeshift plumbing and electrical systems. Life in a favela is marked by hardship, but also by a vibrant community spirit. Despite the challenges, residents, known as favelados, create a dynamic social fabric with small businesses, cultural activities, and social organizations playing crucial roles. However, favelas are also plagued by crime and violence, often controlled by gangs and militias. The Brazilian government has oscillated between efforts to eradicate these settlements and initiatives to improve infrastructure and provide permanent housing. The fascinating story of Sealand. Sealand, an unlikely sovereign state, occupies Ralph's Tower, a former World War II sea fort off the coast of Suffolk, England. Declared an independent principality in 1967 by Paddy Roy Bates, Sealand has captured imaginations worldwide with its audacious claim to sovereignty. The tower, originally built to defend against German mine-laying aircraft, was repurposed by Bates as a pirate radio station platform. Despite never broadcasting, Bates declared Ruff's Tower independent and established Sealand's constitution, flag, anthem, and currency. Sealand's sovereignty was challenged when British workers attempted to service a nearby buoy in 1968, leading to an altercation involving warning shots. The subsequent court ruling determined that Sealand was outside British territorial waters, lending some legitimacy to Bates's claims. Despite its tiny size and limited population, Sealand has maintained its independence for over 5 decades, repelling various incursions and even issuing passports and stamps. If you could spend a day in Sealand or visit a favela, what would you be most curious to learn or see? Let us know in the comments. Discovering life in Siberia's harsh yet beautiful Yakutia. In the harsh Arctic climate of Siberia's Yakutia, the Saka people have carved out a distinctive way of life. This region, characterized by extreme cold and vast remote landscapes, is home to about 380,000 Saka. Historically semi-nomadic, the Saka have adapted to the environment by raising cattle, reindeer, and horses, which provide essential resources for survival. Modern Yakutia sees a blend of traditional and contemporary lifestyles. While some Saka still engage in reindeer herding and fishing, others work in industries such as mining and lumber. The community is known for its rich cultural traditions, including intricate ivory and wood carving, and the playing of the komus, or mouth harp. Despite the encroachment of modernity, the Saka people maintain a deep connection to their heritage, demonstrating resilience and ingenuity in one of the world's most unforgiving environments. Do you think living in such unique conditions changes the way people view their daily lives and communities? How so? Let us know in the comments. Inside the remote cliff villages that defy gravity. In China's Sichuan province, the cliff village of Atuler represents an astonishing example of human endurance and adaptation. Perched 800 meters up a sheer cliff, the village gained international attention due to the dangerous ladders that were the only means of access. Villagers, including schoolchildren, had to climb these precarious sky ladders to reach the outside world. Recently, the Chinese government relocated many of Atuler's residents to safer housing closer to urban centers. But some families remain, embracing their ancestral home. Life in Atuler was marked by its simplicity and self-sufficiency. The villagers farmed on the narrow terraces and relied on community cooperation for survival. The village's remote and vertical location also attracted tourists, which provided a modest income. Atuler's story underscores the lengths to which people will go to preserve their homes and way of life, even in the most challenging circumstances. Exploring the wonders of floating villages. Siem Reap's floating villages are a fascinating glimpse into a unique way of life on Cambodia's Tonle Sap Lake. These communities, including Chong Nis, Kampong Pluk, Kampong Kleang, and Mechre, adapt to the lake's dramatic seasonal changes. Chong Neas, the nearest village to Siem Reap, features houses on stilts and floating structures that are moved according to water levels. As the boat terminal for Battambang and Phnom Penh, it is a bustling hub of activity. Kampong Pluk, which means Harbor of the Tusks, is a cluster of 3 villages with stilted houses that line the entrance to the lake. About 30 kilometers from Siem Reap, this community sustains itself mainly through fishing and shrimp farming, with land crops harvested during the dry season. Kampong Kleang, the furthest village at about 50 kilometers from Siem Reap, is a permanent stilted village where the community also depends on fishing. Mechre, located southwest of Siem Reap, is another floating village that moves with the changing water levels. The village's residents primarily live off fishing and share a strong sense of community. These floating villages are not only homes, but also feature schools, markets, and places of worship, all buoyed by the water. Despite the challenges of limited access to fresh water, healthcare, and education, these resilient communities thrive by leveraging the lake's resources and maintaining a nomadic lifestyle. Can you imagine living in such a dramatically changing environment like Tonle Sap Lake? How do you think you'd adapt? Let us know in the comments. Each community, with its unique challenges and solutions, offers profound insights into human resilience, creativity, and the unyielding spirit of survival. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.